The bombshell nobody saw coming has just detonated, and it has left the hip-hop world in absolute chaos. Chrissy Lampkin, long known as Jim Jones's ride or die, has been caught red-handed in the kind of scandal that makes even the wildest love and hip-hop storylines look tame. Sources are whispering, footage is allegedly circulating, and insiders are saying Jim Jones himself is completely shattered after an explosive affair leak turned their private world upside down. Imagine this: the woman who stood beside Jim through years of struggle, love, betrayal, and reality TV madness suddenly exposed in the most humiliating way possible. The words new husband and affair are being thrown around online, with fans asking, was Chrissy secretly living a double life? How long has this been going on? And why is the timing of this leak so suspicious? Social media has already erupted into pure mayhem. Some fans are calling it karma. Others say Jim brought this on himself with his past history, but the loudest voices, they're saying this scandal could end the relationship we all thought was unbreakable. But the biggest question isn't just about betrayal, it's about the aftermath. How is Jim Jones going to react now that his empire, his family, and his pride are all under attack? And is this affair leak the end of Chrissy and Jim for good? Or just the beginning of a darker, nastier war? Trust me, what comes next will shock you even more. Before we dive headfirst into the shocking affair leak that has social media in flames, we need to rewind the clock and look at the complicated, messy, and roller coaster history of Chrissy Lampkin and Jim. Because if you think this scandal came out of nowhere, you're dead wrong. The warning signs have been there for years, hidden in plain sight. And now it feels like everything that's been buried has erupted at once. Chrissy and Jim's legendary love story, Chrissy. Kay and Jim weren't just another couple on Love and Hip Hop. They were the couple, the OGs, who built the blueprint for messy reality TV relationships. From their early appearances on the show, fans fell in love with Chrissy's fiery personality and Jim's cool, under-pressure vibe, but that love story was never smooth. Chrissy's proposal to Jim on national television became one of the most iconic and controversial moments in the franchise. Instead of Jim being the one to get on one knee, Chrissy flipped the script and took control of her destiny. Some fans applauded her boldness. Others said it was a desperate move. Regardless, that moment cemented them as reality TV royalty. But behind the scenes, their relationship was full of cracks. The engagement that never ended, let's be real. Chrissy and Jim's engagement became a running joke in the industry. They got engaged, re-engaged, but never quite made it down the aisle. Years passed, but a wedding never happened. Fans constantly asked, why hasn't Jim married Chrissy yet? Every reunion, every interview, every podcast appearance brought this same question. And Jim always dodged with vague answers about not rushing. While Chrissy rolled her eyes in frustration, that tension boiled over in multiple seasons of Love and Hip Hop. Chrissy wanted security. Jim wanted freedom. And both of them wanted to save face in front of millions of viewers. The shadow of infidelity. Here's where it gets even messier. This isn't the first time cheating rumors have followed Jim and Chrissy. Over the years, whispers about Jim's late-night partying and alleged side chicks surfaced again and again. Chrissy was known for being ride or die. But she wasn't blind. One of the most explosive moments came when Chrissy clashed with Yandy Smith on Love and Hip Hop, New York. Yandy, who once managed Jim, found herself in the middle of Chrissy's suspicions and frustrations. Chrissy believed Yandy enabled Jim's reckless lifestyle, and the tension between them boiled into physical confrontations. Even back then, Chrissy looked like a woman who was tired of waiting, tired of forgiving, and tired of playing second to Jim's ego and lifestyle. The public image versus the private reality on camera. Chrissy and Jim always circled back to each other. No matter how bad things got, no matter how ugly the fights became, they presented themselves as a unit. Fans called them relationship goals, not because they were perfect, but because they were real. They showed the raw, messy, unfiltered truth of being in love under the spotlight. But what people didn't see were the late-night arguments, the trust issues, and the years of unresolved tension piling up like dynamite waiting for a match. Chrissy's growing independence over time. Chrissy started stepping out of Jim's shadow. She worked on her own projects, distanced herself from the industry drama, and focused on building her own identity. But with independence came questions. Was she happy? Was she finally over the endless cycle with Jim? Her absence from recent Love and Hip Hop seasons only fueled speculation. Some said she was done with reality TV. Others whispered that she was done with Jim altogether. The perfect storm, so. When news broke that Chrissy was allegedly caught red-handed with a new husband, fans weren't just shocked, they were divided. Some said, good for her. Jim never gave her the ring and the security she wanted. Others were stunned. How could Chrissy betray the man she fought so hard for? But here's the kicker. The scandal wasn't just about Chrissy moving on. It was about the timing. The leak dropped right when Jim was preparing for new music releases and making business moves. To insiders, it felt less like coincidence and more like sabotage. Jim Jones's Heartbreak reports claimed Jim was blindsided. One insider told a blog, Jim thought they were solid. They weren't perfect, but he never expected this. He's broken, man. He looks like a ghost. If true, this isn't just an affair, this is betrayal at the deepest level. Chrissy didn't just cheat. She allegedly moved on with someone else entirely, leaving Jim to pick up the pieces in public, setting the stage for the scandal now, with all that history. It makes sense why this affair leak is sending shockwaves through hip-hop culture. Chrissy and Jim weren't just another reality TV couple. They were a legacy. And now that legacy is cracking right before our eyes. But what really happened the night Chrissy got caught? Who exposed her and why now? And most importantly, what's Jim Jones going to do now that the love of his life has allegedly betrayed him? Trust me, the details of this leak are about to get even darker, nastier, and more heartbreaking than anyone expected. The whispers about Chrissy Lampkin being caught red-handed weren't just gossip. They erupted into a scandal so intense it shook Jim Jones to his core and left fans stunned. What had been private rumors behind closed doors burst into public chaos when shocking evidence began to circulate online. The alleged affair leak all started when a blurry video clip hit social media. At first, it looked like any grainy late-night footage, but within minutes, fans realized the woman in the video looked almost identical to Chrissy. She was sitting at an upscale Atlanta lounge, cozying up to a man who was not Jim Jones. The clip showed them holding hands, leaning in close, and what appeared to be a kiss caught at just the right angle. The caption from the anonymous uploader read, "Y'all favorite couple ain't goals no more. Chrissy out here with her new husband." The internet went wild. Blogs snatched it up instantly, headlines screaming Chrissy exposed across every gossip platform. Fans flooded the comments with disbelief. No way that's her. Tell me this is fake. Jim gone lose his mind when he sees this. After all these years, she finally... The insider testimony, but it didn't stop there. Hours later, an insider who claimed to be close to the situation dropped an even bigger bomb. According to them, Chrissy hadn't just been spotted with another man. She had allegedly married him in a private ceremony months ago. The insider claimed Chrissy'd been done with Jim for a while, but she couldn't say it publicly. She's been moving different, and now it's all coming out because someone close to her leaked the receipts. Receipts? Fans were desperate to know what that meant. The shocking evidence the next leak was even worse. Screenshots began circulating online. Allegedly showing text messages between Chrissy and this new husband. The messages were intimate, with Chrissy supposedly writing, "Can't wait to be home with you. I'm tired of pretending. You're my real forever." Another message from the man read, "We don't need the world to understand us. Just you and me, always." Fans gasped. If the texts were real, it weren't just casual flirting. They were proof of a double life. Jim Jones's reaction, insiders say Jim found out the same way the rest of us did, through the internet. One source close to him told a blog, He was scrolling, and when he saw that clip, he froze. He didn't believe it at first, but when the texts dropped, he lost it. He punched the wall, started screaming. He kept saying, "Not Chrissy, not her," for a man who's always projected strength and confidence. This was a devastating blow. Social media frenzy by this point, Twitter and Instagram were a battlefield. Some fans defended Chrissy, pointing out that Jim had strung her along for years without ever truly committing. Others dragged her, calling her ungrateful and a hypocrite after years of portraying herself as Jim's loyal queen. Hashtags like #Chrissy exposed and #Jim deserves better started trending. One fan tweeted, "All that time waiting for a ring and she gave it to somebody else." Wow, another wrote, "Jim did her dirty for years. Let that woman live." The brutal twist just when the story seemed like it couldn't get any worse. A brutal twist sent shockwaves through the culture. A gossip blog released what they claimed was an actual marriage certificate. The document, though grainy and partially blurred, listed Chrissy Lampkin's name alongside another man's, dated just 3 months prior. If true, this wasn't just an affair, it was full-on betrayal. Chrissy hadn't just stepped out on Jim. She had allegedly started a whole new life with someone else while keeping up appearances. Jim's public silence. Jim has always been outspoken on social media. But after the leak, he went silent. No posts, no tweets, no lives. That silence only fueled speculation. Fans wondered, was he devastated? Was he plotting revenge? Or was he simply waiting until he had all the facts before unleashing his side of the story? Meanwhile, Chrissy stayed quiet too, which only made things worse. Neither of them speaking left the internet to create its own narrative, and the narrative wasn't pretty. The fallout among Friends insiders also revealed that Jim's inner circle is split. Some of his close friends are urging him to cut Chrissy off completely, telling him her betrayal is unforgivable. Others are reminding him of their decades-long love story, suggesting he talk to her before making a decision. But one thing's clear, Jim's trust is shattered, and his pride has taken the biggest hit of all. Cliffhanger, so here we are. A video, alleged text messages, a supposed marriage certificate. Chrissy caught red-handed, Jim shattered, and fans torn down the middle. But the question is, are these leaks real? Or is someone orchestrating a setup to destroy Chrissy and Jim's legacy? Who leaked the evidence? A friend, an enemy, or someone within the industry trying to stir chaos? And if it's true, is this the final straw for Jim Jones? Or will he fight to hold on to the woman he stood by for decades? The next revelation is going to flip this story upside down. The affair leak was already spiraling out of control. But what came next turned this messy scandal into one of the darkest, most devastating chapters of Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin's story. The whispers became shouts, the speculation turned into fury, and the internet suddenly found itself drowning in new receipts that painted a picture far uglier than anyone imagined. The second video leaked just when the buzz around the first lounge video was starting to settle. Another bombshell clip surfaced. This time, the footage was clearer. It showed Chrissy leaving a hotel hand in hand with the same mystery man. They weren't just walking together casually, they were laughing, smiling, and acting like a couple without a care in the world. The caption on the post, "When you think you're sneaky but the street's always watching, Chrissy's double life exposed." Fans immediately recognized the man as someone who had allegedly been seen at several industry events over the past year. Bloggers quickly dug up his name, claiming he was a businessman with ties to Atlanta's nightlife scene. Within hours, his face was all over the internet, with fans calling him Chrissy's new husband. The industry leaked, but the footage wasn't even the biggest shock. Hours later, a gossip blog dropped what they claimed were legal documents proving Chrissy and this man were married. The documents, though partially blurred, appeared to show a marriage certificate filed in another state just 3 months ago, the same time frame. The first insider had hinted at, if real, this wasn't just a messy fling. This was an entirely new life. Chrissy had been hiding in plain sight. Jim Jones's breaking point. By now, Jim had seen enough. Sources close to him say he completely broke down when the second clip hit. According to one insider, he slammed his phone down and walked out the house. He told his people, "I can't believe this. I gave her everything and she played me." Jim was reportedly spotted driving around Harlem for hours, ignoring calls and refusing to answer messages. Another source said, "Jim feels humiliated. It ain't just about losing her. It's about being embarrassed in front of the whole world. This ain't private pain no more. It's public." The unexpected betrayal, but here's where the story took an even darker turn. Allegedly, the leaks didn't come from strangers or industry rivals. According to multiple whispers online, the person behind the leaks was someone close to Jim and Chrissy's circle. Yes, someone they trusted may have been feeding footage and documents to the blogs for weeks, waiting for the perfect moment to detonate the bomb. Fans immediately began speculating. Was it a jealous friend? A disgruntled ex-employee? Or maybe even someone from Chrissy's new life trying to force the truth into the open? One blog claimed to have screenshots of text messages between the leaker and an industry blogger negotiating payment for the videos. The social media internet went absolutely nuclear. Memes flooded timelines. One showed Jim looking devastated with the caption, "She said forever but meant until the next husband." Another showed Chrissy with the words, "From Love and Hip Hop to Love and Husband number 2. Fans were torn down the middle. Some dragged Chrissy, calling her a traitor. Others defended her, saying Jim had years to marry her and never did. Comments poured in, "This ain't cheating. This a whole new marriage. Jim can't come back from this. Y'all blaming Chrissy, but Jim kept her waiting 20 years. What did he expect? I don't care what Jim did. This is foul. She built her brand on loyalty, and now look." Celebrities' way, uneven celebrities started chiming in. Tamar Braxton tweeted, "Chilly. Not a new husband. I'm gagging. This too much." 50 Cent, never one to stay quiet, posted a meme of Jim looking shocked with a caption, "It's why you can't trust nobody out here. Crazy." Even Love and Hip Hop castmates threw shade. One anonymous post read, "Some of y'all been living lies for years. Don't act surprised when the mask slips. Don't act surprised when the mask slips." The shocking reveal, then came the twist that left everyone stunned. A third leak dropped. But this time, it wasn't about Chrissy's alleged new man. It was about Jim. Screenshots surfaced of Chrissy confronting Jim months ago in private texts. In the messages, Chrissy accused him of still entertaining women on the side. She wrote, "I'm not going to be played again. If you can't commit, I'll find someone who can." Jim allegedly responded with, "I love you. Stop acting like I don't. You always trying to push me away." If those texts were real, they painted a different picture. Chrissy may not have betrayed Jim out of nowhere. She may have been retaliating after years of feeling neglected and unappreciated. The cliffhanger so. Now we're left with more questions than answers. Did Chrissy really marry another man? Or are the documents doctored to fuel a setup? Was the leaker someone in their inner circle who wanted revenge? Or is this a calculated industry takedown? And was Chrissy truly living a double life? Or was this her breaking point after years of waiting for Jim to finally give her the commitment she begged for? One thing's for sure, the next chapter of this scandal is about to rip open truths that neither Lucy nor Jim can ever recover from. Because this isn't just about cheating. This is about betrayal, humiliation, and the destruction of one of hip-hop's most iconic couples. And when the next leak drops, it could end more than just a relationship. It could end reputations. Forever, the Chrissy affair scandal wasn't just a storyline anymore. It became the conversation across social media, hip-hop blogs, and even mainstream gossip outlets. What started as grainy footage of Chrissy in a lounge escalated into a media firestorm with fans, celebrities, and industry figures all choosing sides. And the chaos, it's only getting bigger. Twitter explodes the hashtags dominated trends. Hashtag Chrissy exposed. Hashtag Jim shattered. Hashtag new husband leak. Twitter users went into overdrive. debating whether Chrissy was the ultimate betrayer or finally a woman taking her life back. One viral tweet read, "She waited 20 years for a ring and he never gave it. Now she's married someone else. Y'all mad, but she did what she had to do." Another clap back, "Nah, this ain't it. She built her whole identity on loyalty. How you betrayed Jim like that? SMH. And then came the conspiracy theories. Some fans insisted the marriage certificate was fake. A doctored document planted to humiliate Jim. Others claim Chrissy staged the whole thing too. Finally break free from a relationship that had long run its course. Instagram Lives fueled the fire to seek a dime. Carly read. And even Yandy Smith couldn't resist weighing in during their IG Lives. Jessica laughed. Ain't no loyalty in this game. If Chrissy did it, I ain't even surprised. Men been doing women dirty forever. Carly, always messy, added fuel. Listen, the street's been talking. I'm just saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. Yandy, on the other hand, kept it classy but shady. Sometimes what people show you for years is exactly who they are. Don't act shocked when the mask slips. Their comments reignited. Debates about whether Chrissy was wrong or just another player in a game that everyone in the industry plays. Hip-hop fans. Divided barbershops, clubs, and Twitter spaces were lit with debates. Some argued Jim Jones had this coming after years of dragging his feet on marriage. Others said Chrissy's alleged move was the ultimate humiliation, not just to Jim, but to Black love as a whole. One fan-run podcast summed it up. This ain't just cheating. This is legacy breaking. Jim and Chrissy were the blueprint. If they can't make it, who can? Celebrity reactions. Celebrities were quick to jump in. Cardi B tweeted a cryptic message. Sometimes people get tired of waiting. That's all I must say. 50 Cent, ever the troll. Posted a meme of Jim looking stressed with the caption, "Told y'all, these streets cold. Boy, you better keep your head up." Even Tamar Braxton couldn't resist. Whew, chilly. The marriage certificate took me out. Not Chrissy walking down the aisle with somebody else. Each reaction only made the scandal trend harder. Keeping Chrissy and Jim at the center of the cultural conversation, industry fallout behind the scenes. Insiders claim the scandal has shaken Jim's business moves. Meetings were allegedly canceled. One source whispered, "Nobody wants to talk music right now." The final betrayal but. Here's the twist that flipped the script. The same friend also leaked screenshots of conversations with Jim himself in those alleged DMs. Jim appeared to be confiding in the friend about his suspicions of Chrissy, writing things like, "She moving different. I can feel it. But I ain't got proof yet if those messages were real." It meant Jim had known something was wrong long before the leaks surfaced. He suspected Chrissy, but he didn't have the courage to confront her head-on. And the friend. They weaponized Jim's own fears to fuel the firestorm. Jim's breaking silence for weeks. Jim stayed silent. But after the friend's reveal, insiders say Jim finally spoke privately to his circle, telling them, "I don't even know who to trust anymore. Chrissy broke me, but so did the people I thought had my back." Imagine the pain, not only betrayed by the woman he loved, but also sold out by someone he trusted in his own camp. The internet's reaction, fans were stunned. What started as a story about Chrissy's alleged affair had morphed into a deeper betrayal. A story of broken trust on both sides. Twitter exploded, so Jim knew but didn't say anything. "This is worse than we thought. Her friend sold her out. That's foul. Everybody dirty in this story." At this point, it ain't even about Chrissy versus Jim. It's about snakes in the grass. The reunion bombshell. Tease on just when the flames couldn't get any higher. VH1 dropped a teaser for a sit-down reunion special. The promo showed Jim staring across the stage in silence, Chrissy wiping tears, and Claudia Jordan, the host, saying, "We're about to get the truth once and for all. No more secrets." The screen then cut to black with the words, "Who betrayed who?" The final cliffhanger. Now the entire world is hanging in suspense. Did Chrissy really marry someone else? Or are these documents part of a bigger setup? Did Jim's silence mean he knew all along and chose to ignore it until it was too late? And perhaps most shocking of all, how could someone in their own circle betray them both? Feeding the chaos and turning their private heartbreak into the internet's favorite scandal. The only certainty is that when the reunion airs, the truth will cut deeper than anyone expects. And for Jim and Chrissy, there may be no path to redemption, because this isn't just the end of a relationship. This feels like the end of an era and the beginning of a darker chapter where trust, loyalty, and love have all been burned to ashes. And when the next bomb drops, it won't just break hearts. It could destroy legacies forever. And there it is, the Chrissy and Jim Jones saga that has left the culture completely shook. From blurry lounge videos to hotel clips, leaked texts, a shocking marriage certificate. And finally, the jaw-dropping reveal that someone from their own circle betrayed them both. This is no longer just a scandal. This is one of the biggest betrayals in hip-hop reality TV history. But now it's your turn to weigh in. Drop into the comments right now and tell me what you think really happened. Do you believe Chrissy actually went behind Jim's back and started a whole new life with another man? Or do you think this was a setup from the start, engineered by someone who wanted to destroy both Chrissy and Jim's legacy? And what about Jim? Did he really know something was off this whole time, quietly ignoring the red flags until the evidence was impossible to hide? Or was he blindsided like the rest of us, forced to face the humiliation in public? And let's not forget the so-called friend who leaked everything. Was this betrayal about revenge, jealousy, or something deeper? Should Chrissy be blamed for trusting the wrong people? Or was the betrayal inevitable in a circle full of snakes? I want the comments lit up with theories, predictions, and debates. Who was truly wrong here? Who deserves sympathy? And who deserves blame? Because one thing is clear, the reunion special is about to be explosive. And the answers we get there might not just close a chapter. They could end an entire era. So smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell because you don't want to miss what's coming next. This isn't the end of Chrissy and Jim's story. This is only the beginning of a saga that's about to get even darker, nastier, and more shocking than anything we've seen before.